Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 18th and 19th of October 2020. You can see here are two images, but today we will discuss 6 to 7 very important current affairs. So watch the video till the end. But first of all, I want to discuss two or three things with you guys. First one is the Affairs Cloud subscription, that is the current affairs PDF subscription. You can buy by two methods. One, you can visit our website, that is affairscloud/current affairs, or you can directly go to the description box below this video. Under the description box, there is a link to subscribe the current affairs. Now, what you will get in the subscription, you will get the daily current affairs, you will get the weekly PDFs, you will get the weekly tests. It is very important so that you can evaluate yourself, or you can evaluate that how much you can retain the current affairs. And you can also get the monthly PDFs. There is not only one monthly PDF delivered to you. There will be 5 monthly PDFs. One is the top 100 current affairs of the month. Second, the banking, finance and the economy PDF, that is the August 2020 I am showing here, but you will get the every month. It is very important for the aspirants who are preparing for the banking exam. Third, you can say current affairs pocket PDF. As the name suggests, pocket PDF means you can revise these current affairs very quickly. And last but not the least, that is the question and answer PDF. This is very important because everyday news is converted into question and answer format, so you can retain the news very easily. So these current affairs are provided at very minimal cost. You have to just visit our website or the description box below. You will surprise the cost. On that minimal cost, we are providing you 10% extra discount if you use this code, that is the ASH10. Then you can get the 10 extra percent discount. Now, starting with the today's video, here is our first question, guys. To improve its research and development capabilities, the Center Reserve Police Force has collaborated with which institute? Now, the news is under important question, so mark under important section. That is to improve the research and development or the research and technology, the Center Reserve Police Force, or you can say the CRPF, has collaborated with which institute? This CRPF is also tying up with the DRDO. You can remember this also, that also tying up with the DRDO and JATC, that is the Joint Advanced Technology Center for the improvement or to improve the capabilities of research and development. Now, what will be the benefit of the joint initiative of the DRDO, JATC or the IIT Delhi or the IIT Delhi? So answer is the IIT Delhi. Now, what will be the basic aim? It is just the capacity building to make optimal use of police technology, because it is related to the CRPF. So that's why they want to use, or they want to basically increase the capacity building to make the optimal use of the police technology. It will also help in integrating with DRDO labs for elastic indigestion of technology on the internal security grid. So they will also provide operational feedback on technology purposes, which enable the IIT technology experts to conduct proactive research and development, because IIT Delhi is very proactive in the research and development. That's why CRPF tied up with the IIT Delhi. So you have to remember CRPF tie up with the IIT Delhi, DRDO and JATC. JATC stands for Joint Advanced Technology Center. For what purpose? For increasing or for capacity building of the research and technology things. So remember this. So you can see here CRPF collaboratively joins with the IIT Delhi and DRDO and JATC for the research and development capability. Very simple news. Don't go beyond that news. Don't research this news, because nothing is important more than that. And what about DRDO? DRDO chairman is Dr. G. Satish Reddy. Headquarters is in New Delhi, guys. Headquarters is in New Delhi. Maximum student marks the Bengaluru, but headquarters is in New Delhi. What about the CRPF? CRPF headquarters is again New Delhi, and the Director General is AP Maheshwari. Remember, CRPF Director General is the AP Maheshwari. Now moving to next question. Which airport of India become one of the aerotropolis of the countries? Now, what is this meaning? That is the aerotropolis. So very important word. It means a new urban form where cities are built around airports for speedy connectivity, time sensitive supplies, manufacturers, distributors, business people to distant consumers, clients and the marketplaces. It means you can see in the picture that this is the basically the airport city. You can see here, that is the airport, and you can basically imagine that everything is basically like in the distance or the very less distance from the airport. So it means in new urban form where cities are built around the airports for the speedy connectivities for the like manufacturer, distributor, business people, so that they can connect very easily to the distant places. This is the basic meaning of the, that is the aerotropolis. So remember this aerotropolis. Now, which airport of India become one of the aerotropolis of the country? And the answer is the Jewar Airport. So remember, I already covered this type of the news regarding the Jewar International Airport. That is, you can see the past 5 to 6 lecture, then you will recall this news. That is the Jewar International Airport. It is also known as the Greater Noida International Airport. And this airport is very important for the Uttar Pradesh because it becomes the aerotropolis. It means that everything will be connected to the this airport or near this airport. And this airport is basically managed or the built by Zurich Airport, Zurich International Airport. And this is very important because it is again Switzerland company who is building the India's international airport and managing the India's international airport. And Jewar Airport will become India's largest airport, having 6 runways. Having 6 runways. This is again important, guys. So remember 2 or 3 things. Where is the Jewar International Airport? Who is basically managing or building this airport? That is the Zurich International Airport or the Switzerland, if they are asking the country. And it is the largest international airport, having the 6 runways. So these are the very important news marked under the important section. What about the Uttar Pradesh? Because this international airport lies in the Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh, very important national park is the Dudhwa National Park. Dudhwa National Park. Now moving to next question, you can see here, which country hosted 7th meeting of Ministers of Justice of Shanghai Cooperation Organization member states? This is important question. Why this is important? Because we are talking about the any international organization, and this time it is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Shanghai Corporation of India is very important. If you are revising the international organization, then revise this organization also. It is basically established in year 2001. Yes, guys, in 2001. And where is the headquarter? Headquarter is in Beijing, China. So remember, headquarter is in Beijing, China. And total member countries, you can see in the image that total member countries are 8, 4 and 4. Now, how you can remember this 4 countries? Like you have to remember China, India, Pakistan. These countries are member. It means the 2 most important enemies of India are the China and Pakistan are the member. So you can remember these countries. And one friendly country of India is the Russia. So you can remember these 4 countries very easily. Now another 4 countries are you can remember 2 countries from the Central Asia, that is the Kazakhstan and the Kyrgyzstan, and Uzbekistan and the Tajikistan. So remember Kyrgyzstan and the Kazakhstan, both the countries are the member. Uzbekistan and the Tajikistan are also members of the SCO. So remember these because the examiner can ask whenever they want to know about the countries. So this is not a very difficult question because there are only 8 countries, so you can remember this very easily. And guest attendees are ASEAN, so you can remember also the ASEAN has also tie up with the Shanghai Corporation of India. So total member countries are 8. Now proceed to the news. Which country hosted 7th meeting of Ministers of Justice of Shanghai Corporation Organization member states? And this is, guys, India. So remember, India basically organized this type of the summit, and who is the Minister of Justice, or you can say Minister of Law and Justice, that is the Ravi Shankar Prasad, who attended this meeting on behalf of the Indian government. Now move into our next question. You can see in the question, you can also see in the picture that 7th meeting of the Minister of Justice, because he is the Minister of Law and Justice and also the Minister of one more department is the Ravi Shankar ji, that is the Minister of Communication and Electronics and Information Technology, that is also Ravi Shankar Prasad. So very key important personality of the Union Cabinet or the Cabinet Ministers. Now moving to next question and mark under the most important question, guys. What is the rank of India in the Global Hunger Index? This question will be covered in so many exams. So remember, what is the rank of India in the Global Hunger Index? I am not confusing you because Global Hunger Rank Indexes of India is very, very less, guys. Very, very less basically. And it is very poor rank, and the rank is 94, guys, out of 107 countries. Out of 107 countries, India's rank is 94th. Many newspapers, many websites are telling you that India's rank is improved, but they are not telling you that India's rank in 2019 was 102. So you will also think that this time 94th India is improved now. But you have to remember one thing more, that at that time in 2019, total countries ranked is 117. So that's why India's rank is 102. Now countries are 107, but India's rank is 94. And if the countries are 10 less, then the India's rank should be 92. It means the India's rank is not improved. Basically, India's rank is worsen than the last year, guys. So remember this, very important. India's rank is 94th. And this global hunger index is basically represented by Welt Hunger Index, or you can say that it is organized by the Welt Hunger Organization. Welthungerhilfe, that is the full name, Welthungerhilfe. That is the organization who basically released the global hunger index. And India's basically hunger index comes under the moderate level of hunger. Moderate level of hunger. And India ranks lower than the most of the South Asian neighbors. Like even Pakistan rank is 88th. That is very depressing that Pakistan rank is 88th. Nepal rank is 73rd. Bangladesh is 75. Sri Lanka is 64 and Myanmar is 78. But don't remember all the ranks. But I am just telling you that India's rank is lower than most of the South Asian neighbors. And 40%, 14% of India's population is undernourished. That is very important again, undernourished. So you can write, if you want that information for your mains examination of UPSC, you can write this type of the news. Or if you are preparing for the UPSC, then please visit our current affair channel and make the notes on this global hunger index, because you can write on the current affair section. And total indicators to measure the global hunger index are four indicators, like population, that is undernourished, child under age who are 5, who are wasted, who are stunted, and basically the mortality rate. So these are the very important things you have to remember. So India's rank is 94th. Now you can see here globally India's rank is 94th. Now you can see here that China's rank, that is 1 to 17th rank. Sri Lanka 64th, Nepal 73, Bangladesh 75. India's rank is 94. Only a neighboring country, that is Afghanistan, is above India. Otherwise, no other country is above India. So remember this. If you are preparing for the good exam, then this question can be asked by the examiner. So mark this, very important. Moving to the next question. Which country re-elected as the president and the co-president of International Solar Alliance for a term of 2 years? It means the country is already basically the president and the co-president, but the country is re-elected now. It means the same country, if you know who is the basically president and the co-president of the Solar International Solar Alliance, that is the initiative of Modi ji. So you can tell which two countries are re-elected. That is very important. These two countries are India and France. So remember, India and France. So answer is the both A and C, because I am already told you that president and the co-president. So answer should be in the two options. So that's why the answer is both A and C. That India is basically president and France is the co-president of the International Solar Alliance. And what is the vision of the International Solar Alliance? The main vision is the one sun, one world, and one grid. One sun, one world, and one grid. So remember this. This is basically the main theme or the main vision of the International Solar Alliance. And what is the target of the International Solar Alliance? That is to mobilize USD 1 trillion by 2030 to improve the solar alliances. And this is the first time that International Solar Alliance awards presented. So very important awards. You can see in the picture that this is the International Solar Alliance logo. And third assembly of the International Solar Alliance met, and India and France re-elected. Now there are the three type of awards presented under the International Solar Alliance. One is the Kalpana Chawla Award. So this is given to the two persons. One is the Dr. Beam Singh. Remember this, Dr. Beam Singh and Dr. Aisha Alunami. So remember Dr. Aisha, only the first name, that is Dr. Aisha, and Dr. Beam. And next is the Vishweshwarai, that is the our engineers. On the 15th September, we are celebrating the Engineering Day on the Vishweshwarai. And for Asia Pacific region, it is given to the Japan, and for the European or the other region, it is awarded to the Netherlands. That is the Vishweshwarai Award. Next is the Divakar Award. It is given to the Arpan Institute from Haryana, Arushi Society from the Madhya Pradesh. So remember this, write this, because these are important and it can be asked if the examiner is good and he knows about the basic information of the International Solar Alliance. So remember, this Kalpana Chawla award is important among these three awards. So Kalpana Chawla award, Dr. Bhim Singh and Dr. Aisha. Visheshwarai, that is the engineer. Japan and the Netherlands. The Walker award, that is the Urban Institute and the Arushi Society. Both starts with the AR. So remember this also. The Walker, that is the AR. So AR means the Urban and the Arushi. So moving to next question. And where is the headquarter of International Solar Alliance, guys? This is very important. That is Gurugram. Gurugram, because there are so less organizations whose headquarter is in India. One of them is the International Solar Alliance. Headquarter is in Gurugram, that is Gurgaon, and Director General is Upendra Tripathi. Remember Upendra Tripathi. Remember this thing. Now moving to next question, guys. And this question is, India and which country joined in the e-health sector? E-health sector, it means to promote the health sector on the websites or the online platform. E-health sector to provide digital health facilities and securities. Very simple news. Nothing less, nothing more. Just remember this e-health sector tied up with the India, tie up with the which country? That is the yes, guys, Netherlands. Netherlands. Answer is B, guys. Answer is B. Even Netherlands also basically want to establish very good relation with India under the digital health solution. So that's why they tied up for the e-health sector purposes. And Netherlands discussed about the e-health sector prospectus in India and digital health facilities and security to Indians. And even India will also help the Netherlands to accelerate the digital transformation of the health. It means both the countries basically help each other to basically achieve the target of the e-health sectors or to form the digital transformation of health. This is very important. You just have to remember this keyword e-health sector, and it is with the Netherlands. And all you know about the Netherlands capital is Amsterdam and currency is the euro. So remember this also. You can see here that is the e-health initiative by the India and the Netherlands. Move to next question, and it is very important day, even the most important day, mark under most important day, that the International Day of Eradication Poverty, because we are talking about the global hunger index. That's why hunger and eradication, poverty eradication are simultaneous process. It means if you want to eradicate poverty, then it means you have to eliminate the hunger, or if you want to eliminate the hunger, you have to eradicate the poverty. Both are vice versa. So remember, this International Day for the eradication of poverty is on the 17th of October 2020. Why this day is celebrated? Now there are very important things under this day, because to create and to raise awareness on the needs to eradicate poverty and about the life conditions of the people living in the poverty. Because in India, poverty is estimated according to the calorie intake. Because if you are living in the urban areas, your calorie intake must be 2100 kilocalories per day. And if you are living in the rural areas, your calorie intake will be approximate 2400 kilocalories, because the labor work in the rural areas is more. That's why they need more calories. And according to these calories, they will estimate the income, so that you the poverty, below poverty line can be imagined. So the line basically according to the World Bank is $1.90. If you are not basically if your income is not $1.90 per day, then it means you are under the below poverty line. So this is the basic definition according to the India, and it is according to the World Bank, that is the $1.90. So Indira Gandhi in India in 1971 gave the slogan, that is the Garibi Hatao, that is the poverty eradication, and it was also comes under the 5-year plans. But the poverty is still there. According to the 2011-12 census, India's poverty is 21.9%. 21.9%. But due to the pandemic, the poverty can be increased now. So it is very important to eradicate the poverty and the factors which are leading to the poverty, which are leading to increasing the poverty basically. So remember this. So 17th of October is remembered as the International Day for Eradication of Poverty. And what is the theme? That acting together to achieve social and environmental justice for all, so that we can provide the social and the environmental justice for all. So this is, guys, important. I told you so many things about this. And moving to our next question. Now again, this is a obituary, that is a Carnatic vocalist P.S. Narayanaswamy dies. So remember the name only, and the language basically, or the region basically from which he is belonged. That is the Carnatic vocalist. It means we are talking about the area of the Tamil Nadu. We are talking about the area of Tamil Nadu, or you can say the Madras Presidency, because during the British era it was the Madras Presidency. So very important Carnatic, you can say vocalist and even guru of the hundreds of Carnatic students. He passed away at the age of 86 in even the Tamil Nadu. So very important, guys. Remember the name. That is very important. That is P.S. Narayana Swamy. Move to our next question. Tata Motors partnered with which bank for financing of passenger vehicles? Now, this is very simple news that they want to finance the passenger vehicle. So that's why the Tata Motors signed up with a bank, and that bank name is, yes, guys, you have to tell me the answer within 5 seconds. Again, guys, I am giving you the 5 second for this answer because it is related to banking. So that's why this news is very important who are preparing for the banking exams, guys. So, guys, tell me what is the answer of this question? And the answer is HDFC, guys. Answer is A, that is HDFC. Tata, basically, you can say the Tata Engineering and the Locomotive Company tie up with the HDFC for financing of its passenger vehicles. So that's why Tata Motor introduced new schemes, that is gradual step up scheme, gradual step up scheme. Second is the flexi drive scheme. Flexi drive scheme. No need to remember, just remember the name of the bank, that is the HDFC. So why this tie-up basically took place under this season? Because it is a festival season. So maximum to maximum, you can say maximum to maximum products of the Tata Motors can be sold during this festival season, and they are now equipped with the Bharat Stage 6th of the range of cars and the SUVs, and even the two-wheelers are very important for the Tata Motors. And now most important here news is the about HDFC, who is become the CEO of the HDFC. That is the Shashidhar Jagdishan. So remember Shashidhar Jagdishan. Shashidhar Jagdishan headquarter is Mumbai, and just remember the Tata Motor headquarter is in again Mumbai. Moving to our next question, you can see in the picture Tata Motor tie up with the HDFC for financing passenger vehicles. Next news again, you can say in the sports section, that is the Umar Gul announced retirement from all forms of cricket. I think all you know about the Umar Gul. He is very recognized player of the Pakistan, very important, or the you can say the backbone of the Pakistan cricket. Very famous player Umar Gul announces retirement from all forms of the cricket. He is basically a right arm fast medium bowler, and he retired from all formats of the cricket. Remember this. Move to our next question. Who is elected as the chairman of India's Bank Association, guys? Most important question. Most important question, which I am telling you, that who is elected as the chairman of Indian Bank Association, guys? It is in news of Indian Bank Association. And the answer is very simple, that who is the MD and CEO of the Union Bank of India? Union Bank of India, and that MD and CEO of Union Bank of India basically appointed as the new chairman of Indian Bank Association, and that person is Rajni Kiran Rai ji. So remember, Rajni Kiran Rai ji becomes the new chairman of India's Bank Association. How you will remember? You can remember by the name of the Rajni Kant. So you can remember the Rajni Kiran. So this is the basic motive behind the news, is the chairman of the Indian Bank Association. And who is this person? That is the Dinesh Kumar Khara. Again, very important. He is the SBI chairman. Who is Shashidhar Jagdishan? I already told you he is the CEO of the HDFC Bank. CEO of the HDFC Bank. So these are the very important persons who you have to remember all the information about. Rajni Kiran Rai ji, chairman of Indian Bank Association. Dinesh Kumar Khara, that is the SBI chairman. Shashidhar Jagdishan, that is the HDFC chairman. Remember all the news. And who is the former chairman of Indian Bank Association? That is the Rajneesh Kumar. He is the former chairman of the Indian Bank Association. So remember all the four options. That's why this news is very, or the most important news. You can see in here, Union Bank of India MD and CEO Raj Kiran Rai, or the Rajnikant, appointed new chairman of the Indian Bank Association. Why I am using Rajnikant name? So that you can remember the name, that is the Rajni Kiran Rai. Move to next question, and this question comes under the book section. Who wrote a book on the trials of the Buddha, A Journey to the East? And why this book is so important, and why I am covering this type of the news? Because this book is released by West Bengal governor. This book is released by West Bengal governor, that is Jagdeep Dhankar ji, and the book named is the Trials of the Buddha, A Journey of the East. This book is written by the Dipankar Aron. Dipankar Aron, he is the IRS officer. That's why the West Bengal governor released this book. and this book is basically published by the Neogi Books Private Limited. No need to remember who is publishing this book, just remember the author name, that is the Dipankar Aron. And why this book comes under the very important section? Because it is released by the Governor of West Bengal, that is the Jagdeep Dhankar. Move to next question. You can see the picture of the book, that on the trial of the Buddha, a journey to the east. Now, moving to next question. Which state or UT government launched handbook of TB Harega? It means tuberculosis Harega, and Desh Jitega. It means if the tuberculosis loses, then the country will win. That is the Desh Jitega, TB Harega. This basically handbook is released by Nagaland government. So remember, the state is the Nagaland, who is basically focusing on the eliminating the tuberculosis, because India has committed to end tuberculosis by the 2025. It means the global end of TB targeted as 2030, but India targeted on 2025 that India will eliminate the tuberculosis. It means it is 5 years ahead of the global target of 2030. Very important, and it is the state of Nagaland who want to eliminate TB and want to basically a slogan to promote the tuberculosis elimination, that is TB Harega and the Desh Jitega. You can see in the picture that Nagaland Minister for Health and Family Affairs launches handbook of TB Harega and Desh Jitega. And who is basically the Nagaland Minister of Health and Family Welfare? That is the S. Ponguni Form. No need to remember, because we are not here to remember the state ministers. We are here to remember only the union ministers. So no need to remember. And who is the Chief Minister of Nagaland? That is the Nephew Rio. Nephew Rio, basically RIO. You can remember by the name of Rio. And the capital is the Kohima. And the governor is Ravindra Narayan Ravi. Ravindra Narayan Ravi, or you can say RN Ravi. That is very simple to remember. RN Ravi. Move to next question. Now, all the questions are completed. Now, it is not to remember, just read news. First is the India conducted successful night trial of nuclear capable Prithvi 2 missile. So, here is the keyword is the Prithvi 2. Just remember the word is Prithvi 2. It is basically surface to surface missile, and it is designed by DRDO, that is the Defense Research Development and Organization. Headquarter of DRDO is New Delhi, and who is the chairman? That is the G. Satish Reddy. So there are so many things about the DRDO. Just remember, this is the surface to surface missile, and it is very short range ballistic missile. Next is the India-Chile hold first joint commission meeting, and Chile to open consulate general in Mumbai. Just remember, India and Chile just want to improve the bilateral relation between the two countries. That's why they hold the first joint commission meeting. But you have to remember one more important thing, that is the Chile to open consulate general in the Mumbai. It means they want to open an embassy basically in the Mumbai. So remember this. Next is the Nirmala Sitharaman virtually participated in 102nd meeting of the World Bank Development Community plenary. So no need to remember this because Nirmala Sitharaman ji before one day just attended the meeting of the G20 nations. Now, next is the Religare Health Insurance rebrands as Care Health Insurance. So, remember, they basically rebrands as the Care Health Insurance. So, they can ask the Care Health Insurance, old name is the Religare Health. So, these are the just read news, not to remember the news. So, just read this news. So, this is all for today. If you like the video, please subscribe this channel, and guys, provide us 300 likes so that we can motivate ourselves, and you can motivate us by liking our video, so that we can make more content on the more videos on the more content. So it is Affairs Cloud promise that it will boost your confidence on the general awareness section, and it is my personal promise that if you are watching the videos for 1 month regularly, and if you are reading our current affairs PDF regularly, then your current affairs section will go strong. And even if you are evaluating yourself in the weekly test, your all questions will go correct. So guys, this is Affairs Cloud promise, and it is my personal promise to watch the video and to read the current affairs PDF. So thank you guys again watching this video. Take care, be safe.